Hello and welcome to Navajo County Connection. I'm Navajo County District 4 Supervisor Steve Williams. As fall approaches, our local festivals kick into high gear. And two of the biggest festivals in the area are the Navajo County Fair and the Fall Festival in Pinetop-Lakeside that provide 2 weeks worth of fun for the entire family. With us to discuss these two great events are Mike Sample, President of the Navajo County Fair Board, as well as Malaina Spillman and Crystal O'Donnell from the Pinetop-Lakeside Chamber of Commerce. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being with me today. So before we talk about these events, why don't you each just take a moment, introduce yourselves, talk about how long you've been in the area and with your organization. So Mike, let's start with you.
Sure, I'm Mike Sample. I'm originally born and raised in Holbrook. My mom's family were the first settlers there at Horsehead Crossing, so we've been in the area quite a while. I've been involved with Navajo County Fair now. I'm in my 11th year, and I've been the president of the fair for about 5 years now.
That's great. Thank you.
No, I'm Crystal O'Donnell. I'm the executive director of the Pinetop-Lakeside Chamber. I moved here 10 years ago this month, and I've been at the chamber for 10 years in October. I've been the executive director for 4 of those years.
That's great. Thank you, Crystal.
You're welcome.
And I'm Malaina Spillman. I'm the events director at Pinetop-Lakeside Chamber. I grew up in Pinetop-Lakeside. My grandparents grew up here, so pretty much been here my whole life, and I've been at the chamber, it'll be 4 years in February, I believe it is.
Yep.
So
that's wonderful. Well, we appreciate what each of you do. We're grateful that you're part of the community. So let's talk about these events. What makes the events that you're associated with so special? Mike?
I think the fair is a tradition. We're in our 85th year. It started in Taylor, actually, in 1926, and in 1931 it was moved to Holbrook, which is the county seat. And over the years, generations have been involved in the fair, showing livestock, involved in the rodeo, and it's just a great event that the county has, and it's still one of the old-fashioned type of fairs. So I think it's very important for the community and for the county, and it brings people in from all over. We were talking earlier, we got Europeans scheduling their tours around our fair date, so
wow.
I think it's great.
When is the fair this year?
The fair starts September 14th through the 18th.
That's great. Wonderful.
I got to tell you real quick, I have some pumpkins and zucchini I'm going to enter.
Great.
Yeah. My son is very excited about them.
We'll take it.
Great. Tell us about the Fall Festival.
So it's a heritage event. We're on
the 41st.
41st, that's what
Yep.
I thought. 41st year. This year we're actually moving it. It's always been either at Blue Ridge School or Mountain Meadows. We're going to the orchard at Charlie Clark's this year.
Oh, great.
So we're really excited about that.
It's a great venue, so we have all of our vendors are very excited about it too.
And it's one of the only art shows, I believe, that it's a juried show and you have to have handmade items. You can't just buy stuff from China or wherever and bring it and sell it. So
Oh, wow.
it makes it unique.
What kind of items do people bring to sell?
They bring like wood signs, jams, jewelry, metal art. Can you think of anything?
We get some that do some sewing projects. They make aprons, some table runners. We've also had crocheting and knitting. We also have the people from the alpaca farm out in Pinedale. They come and they bring a lot of their handmade items, and they actually spin some of the yarn right there at the Fall Festival. So yeah.
All items that I'm not talented in is what you're saying. That can be
Correct.
sold.
Yes,
That's
yes.
Oh, good. Well, let's see. Tell us, are there any events that are new this year, different from last year?
We do. We have a couple new events. We still have our Demolition Derby, which is on Thursday night, and then Friday, Saturday night, we have our the GCPRA rodeo, which is one of the best rodeos in the state, actually. But this year, we've actually added a concert, a country western concert. So we're bringing a professional group called Emerson Drive. They're going to have a concert on the south end. They're also going to be opened by Branch and Dean as their opening act. So that's new. And also on Sunday we will have we usually have a ranch rodeo on Sunday, but this year we're going to have a Southwest Junior Rodeo Association going to partner with us, and we'll have it holding a junior rodeo on Sunday.
That's great. What are the events day by day with the fair?
Well, on Wednesday is our opening day, and so we'll have opening ceremonies on the stage Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock, followed by the Miss Navajo County Teen Pageant. And then on Thursday we have the Demolition Derby. And then Friday morning we have roping slack. and Friday evening the rodeo, and Saturday we have the Little Buckaroo Rodeo, which gives a chance for the little kids to participate. And then Saturday night we have the rodeo performance again.
That's great.
And then Sunday the junior rodeo.
Great. Wonderful. And with the fall festival, are there any items that are new this year?
I'll let you answer that.
Okay. Nothing so much new other than the fact that we moved to the orchard at Charlie Clark's. But it is a 3-day festival beginning at 10 a.m. on Friday, the 23rd, and we go to 5 p.m. that evening. And then Saturday, I guess this is a change. We will be having entertainment throughout the day, every day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So quite a few different bands, some local, some not. We have a local DJ that's going to come out and perform on Saturday. So the festival on Saturday is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then of course on Saturday we have our annual Fall Festival Parade. And I think that this year is the 31st annual Fall Festival Parade.
I've done a lot of parades.
Yeah. And it's a great, I have to say it's great for me because growing up here, you know, I grew up going to the Fall Festival and the Fall Festival Parade, and the parade actually lines up on the street I grew up on. So,
Oh, wow.
so it's pretty fun to be able to plan it. But our theme this year is Wild Wild West, and our grand marshals are the White Mountain Sheriff's Posse.
Oh, that's great.
So,
Good.
yeah.
That's wonderful. So, are there any particular events related to the Fall Festival that seem to be a favorite for members of the public?
I would definitely say the parade. You know, the kids love to come out and watch the different floats. Kids love to participate.
Sure.
A lot of the school is Blue Ridge High School and the elementary school are really getting back involved in the community. So last year they had, I think, 6 floats, and they're working on probably a few more.
This is from the students? 6
Yes,
floats from
so
the
this
students?
is all the students and each class from the high school, freshman through senior, each class is doing their own float. So it's exciting to get the kids back involved, and so that I think brings the community back together and gets everybody more involved. So
That's
Oh,
great.
we can't forget the car show. Run to
Oh.
the Pines car
Oh.
show's the same weekend. That's a
Yes.
huge event in Pinetop-Lakeside. It's not our event, but it's a huge draw that
It's-
weekend.
It's not connected necessarily, but it brings
Correct.
yeah,
a group of people.
and of course they're
together.
chamber members. So
Sure.
And we do a burger burn for them on Thursday night. So we actually cook food. We've got drinks, beverages. We've got a DJ coming. And then we just want to thank all the car show participants for coming.
and
So-
our fall festival vendors.
Yep.
So
So what I'm getting is that between the middle of September towards the end of September, it's going to be one continuous good time in
Yes.
Navajo County.
Pretty
Is that,
much.
is that what I'm getting?
Right. Even after the fair, actually at the fairgrounds, we're hosting the Southwest Indian Rodeo Finals. So just when the fair ends doesn't mean our work is over because we have another big event scheduled the
Right
following
after.
weekend. Right.
Nice.
So are there any, what are some of the members of the public, their favorite parts of the county fair?
There's actually everything. Some people don't prefer to go to the rodeo. They'd rather go to the demolition derby. Like the kids of the county, a lot of the youth of the county are involved in junior livestock, so they work all year long preparing the animals for the show and for the sale. So they're excited to see how the sale is going to go and show their animals and get their awards. So I think a lot of them get excited to see that. We have a lot of midway entertainment. A lot of the kids like the balloon lady. We call her Popping Penelope. So she's a favorite with the kids there. And we have a couple of different bands. Moonshine Mafia will be on the stage. Harry Luge will be on the stage during midway. So there's something for everybody. So like I said, people like the demolition derby over the rodeo. Others prefer the rodeo. So there's many different things that they get excited
Something
about.
for everyone.
For
there.
everyone.
How many people come to the fair each year? Do you know?
With contestants and everybody, we're about 25 to 27,000
Wow.
people, right?
That's wonderful. What? So, Mike, what event are you most looking forward to with the county fair?
Probably
The
the,
day
end, but
it's over. No.
Actually, I enjoy everything. The rodeo I'm more involved with. My girls are involved in the rodeo, so we participate in that. So I think the rodeo is one of my favorite things. The specialty acts that we bring in are from the National Finals Rodeo, so that we'll have a couple of good ones. I don't want to, it's kind of a surprise, so hopefully people go and see it. But I think that's one of my favorite things, to see the entertainment that we bring in for the rodeo and stuff. And it's going to be really good this year.
It's great.
Right.
That's great. Crystal, Malaina, do you have a favorite part of the Fall Festival?
Okay, so my favorite part isn't necessarily at the Fall Festival. My son gets to award a trophy to a car at the car show every year. So Sunday I get to take him, and he picks out a car, and we give away a trophy on behalf of him in the chamber. So that's my favorite
How
part
old's
of
your
the
son?
weekend. He's 11.
That's great.
So he thinks it's the coolest
That
thing
is cool.
ever.
He definitely thinks that's the coolest thing ever.
That's cool. What about you, Malaina?
I have to say my favorite part is, well, it's kind of a mix. I love the parade, and I love to see, like I said, growing up with all the people lining out, and my parents still live in the same house, so lining up there, you know, and seeing all the kids getting so excited to go out. But I love to walk around and see all the different vendors and the things that they've created, and just the talents that we have locally and around the state, around the country, really. We have a lot of vendors that come from out of state as well. So it's really neat to see all the different crafts and
So you like
ideas.
shopping?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's what I got out of
Okay,
it.
Yes,
that's
yes,
what
I
I
do.
was getting out of it too.
And I like to dream and think that, oh, I could do that, but it never happens.
So if our viewers want to learn more about the Fall Festival, where can they go to get that information?
Go to our website. It's Pinetop-Lakeside-Chamber.com. No hyphen between Pinetop Lakeside, it's just all one word.
It's great. And what about for the county fair?
The same on our website, NavajoCountyFair.com, and also we have a Facebook page that you can get on our Facebook page and see all the different things that are scheduled for the fair.
Great. So each of you, one last time, the dates for the events, and any last thing you'd like to say about the event.
Well, the fair again is September 14th through the 18th. There's something for everyone, and I think it's a great tradition, great family values event to bring your family and create memories. So we'd like to just welcome everybody and come to the fair.
Great.
So the Fall Festival is September 23rd through the 25th. And again, it's going to be at the Orchard at Charlie Clark's this year. And I think we're going to have something for everybody too. We forgot to mention Game and Fish will be there. They'll have some kids' activities as well. So
bring some animals, and
Great.
it'll be a good time.
Great.
Well, one of the other things I'm excited about is the variety of the different food vendors that we have at the fair. One of them this year that we're getting is actually selling alligator meat, shark meat, frog legs. So we're getting a variety. So we're kind of anxious to taste that and see how that is. But there's also several other different types of food booths and commercial vendors that we're having at the fair. And this year we're actually offering a package deal for our the rodeo and concert event. So for Saturday night, if you want to go to the rodeo, it's usually it's $5 entry to get into the fair, $8 to get into the rodeo, and $25 for the concert. But we're offering a pre-sale ticket deal of $30, so they get you into all three events. So that's a big savings for you. So if you're able to go to that and get your ticket early,
It's great.
you bet. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Mike and Crystal, Malaina, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of the efforts that you and your team put into these events. I know they're two of the biggest events in our county, and I know that they're favorites of the people that live here too. So thank you for what you do.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
When we come back, we'll be speaking with Navajo County Sheriff Auxiliary Volunteer George Corsi regarding the role the auxiliary force plays in the community and the benefit that they provide for the sheriff's office. Welcome back to Navajo County Connection. Joined with me now is George Corsi of the Navajo County Sheriff's Office Auxiliary Volunteers. George, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
You bet. Before we talk about the Sheriff's Office Auxiliary Volunteers, why don't you just give us a little bit of your background, how long you've been in Navajo County, and how long you've been with the Auxiliary Volunteers?
Well, Steve, I've been a member of Arizona for 8 years, and Navajo County for 4 of those 8. And I've been with the Auxiliary Volunteers for 3 years.
That's great. Tell us about, there may be some viewers that aren't familiar with the Sheriff's Office Auxiliary Volunteers. So would you talk a little bit about what that is and the services that you provide for the community?
Certainly, we do random neighborhood patrols. We have a house watch program. We do roadblocks at community events. We visit schools. We do fingerprinting throughout the entire county. We have 6 units throughout the entire county, and we are here to serve the community and the sheriff's office.
That's great. You say 6 units. Are they spread out throughout the county, and how many volunteers are there?
We have currently 62 volunteers, and the 6 units are spread throughout Navajo County. In Pinetop-Lakeside, Sholo, that's 1 unit. Heber Overguard, Pinedale, Clay Springs, Snowflake, Taylor, and Holbrook.
That's wonderful.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one, White Mountain Lakes.
There you go. Well, that's wonderful. We're grateful for those 62 volunteers. It's a great thing. Are there any special programs or tasks that the auxiliary volunteers perform that's unique to a particular unit?
It's actually unique to the SAV, and that's our House Watch program. We have a House Watch program throughout Navajo County where we currently serve approximately 362 homes, and the service entails walking around each home, checking doors and windows for security and no signs of tampering. In the winter, we check for broken water pipes, and every quarter we send the resident, the property owner, a report that shows them exactly when the inspections were done and what the results of that inspection were.
So a resident, if they wanted their home to be on that list, how would they go about?
They can actually access the Navajo County az.gov, and under departments go to the sheriff, and under sheriff on the lower left hand side they would click on Sheriff's Auxiliary Volunteers, where at the bottom of that page there's an application that they can print out and send in, or fill it out online actually, or they can contact me direct.
And how would they do that? How would they contact you directly?
The best way is at gcorsi@msn.com and subject SAV info.
That's great. What a wonderful service the SAV provides for homeowners here.
Thank you.
What are some of the biggest obstacles that the SAV faces?
It would be recruitment and retention. Recruitment and retention, you know, the White Mountains in Navajo County specifically are a dream vacation and retirement location. And as such, that brings in part-time residents, many of whom we have the benefit of being SAV members. So we have the benefit of their service for a few short months out of the year, and then they leave for the winter. So it's a good service and good membership for these people and as us as well. And we struggle with recruitment because of the part-timers, but also most of us are retired. And at some point in time, we would really like to say we're retired and mean it.
So if someone was interested in maybe being an auxiliary volunteer, what are some traits you're looking for, and how might they go about doing that?
The traits we look for initially are 18 years and older, clean driving record, good character, good judgment, able to pass a background check, and able to attend a 6-week modified academy sponsored by the sheriff. And additional information would be the same, navajocounty.az.gov, or contact me.
And so an auxiliary volunteer wouldn't necessarily have to have law enforcement background?
No, actually we only have a few who have law enforcement backgrounds, and the majority of us come from all walks of life with all kinds of talents that they bring to the table, which makes the SAV a proud organization that it is.
And you may have some auxiliary volunteers that are able to contribute a good amount of time each month, and my guess is you have some that have limited time. Is there a certain amount of time they need to be able to commit if they're going to be a volunteer?
That's a very good question, Steve. We have a requirement of a minimum of 8 hours per month, average over 3 months. There are exceptions to that because there are some folks, actually, as you know, who have some limitations. And they serve very well within the SAV. So we make exceptions on certain cases and make it available to those people who have limitations to somehow fulfill that requirement, whether it's an office position or sitting at a door for security, whatever we can do to accommodate.
You'll work with people's skill sets and time to make it work for them, is
Absolutely.
that right?
Yes, indeed.
That's wonderful. So if there's more information that people would like to get about the auxiliary volunteers, where would they go?
They would go to Navajo County, az.gov. The best thing to do really is to contact me, and we would provide them instantly the information that they're looking for via U.S. mail or email.
Great. What's the best thing about being an SAV?
The gratitude of giving back. That's what most of us are striving for. We've had, good careers and great life and good opportunities in our communities, and we would like to give back as much as we possibly can, and that is in fact the reward.
Well, George, I've known you for the last year and a half that I've been on the Board of Supervisors, and that answer you gave is a good example of what I've seen in you and the others that volunteer throughout in this organization. Would you pass on a big thank you from the Board of Supervisors to them? They do a wonderful service.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to do that.
Anything else you'd like the viewers to know about the SAV before we wrap up?
Well, from a community standpoint, Steve, we would like everybody to know that we drive fully marked sheriff's vehicles. And we do random patrols throughout the neighborhoods, work very closely with the deputies for information on neighborhoods that may need some extra patrols, and we do in fact provide those. Driving fully marked vehicles gives the residents in the community an extra sense of security that the sheriff has their back and they have exposure to the sheriff's office. And that is expressed in appreciation over and over again to us.
I'm sure. And as you go out in the community, are you typically with a partner?
That depends on the situation. Routinely during daylight hours, if they're available, yes. Anytime after dark, we have to be paired.
That's great. George, where's the SAV at right now with your recruitment efforts?
Well, Steve, we just completed a recruitment program here in Pinetop-Lakeside and Show Low, wherein we have 15 new applicants, and we are putting on actually the sheriff is putting on an academy in October. So now is a great time to sign up.
So if people are interested in the October training event, they can apply. They still have time to apply.
That is absolutely correct.
Okay. Well, I see you all over the place at all the big events. So thank you so much for what you do. I appreciate you coming down and being with us today.
Thank you, Steve, for having me.
And thank you all for joining us on Navajo County Connection. We'll see you next time.